I want to know what you'll do to ensure NHS trusts are adhering to your target.
Louise, I'm so sorry to hear about that, and I hope you are getting the support and the treatment you need. And one thing that I think we've done a better job over the last few years, before I became Prime Minister, was making sure that the NHS prioritised mental health in a way that it hadn't in the past. And a few years ago, there was a target set out for how much we would invest in mental health. And actually, I'm pleased to say we've exceeded that target in the last year of NHS funding.
How long have you been waiting, Louise?
I've been waiting since January 2020. I finally got a diagnosis from a psychiatrist in February this year, and I've been told I've got to wait another 6 to 12 months for actual psychotherapy. So I'm not seeing any real benefit of any of that. And I'm still struggling daily.
This will be somewhere in the order of about 5 to 5.5 years, then, ultimately, that you might get the treatment, if I've got my sums right.
It could be, yeah.
OK.
It's just which NHS did you
Which
use,
NHS
Louise?
trust is this, Louise?
I can't say it's in Welsh, but it's
right.
contact.
Well, actually,
you can't say it in. It's Welsh.
I think that's an interesting point, actually, Louise, because it's the Labour Party who run the NHS in Wales, as you know, because devolved government in Wales, and I think actually there's a very clear contrast to what's happening between England and Wales. Like across the UK, all NHSs have experienced backlogs from COVID. But actually, if you look at what's happening in Wales right now, in contrast to the NHS in England, which we're responsible for, average wait times in Wales are longer. The longest waits is actually what you're talking about. We've virtually eliminated people waiting 2 years and made enormous progress on 1.5-year waiters in England. There are still thousands and thousands of people in Wales who are waiting the longest amount of time. In fact, there are 1 in 5 people sitting on a waiting list in Wales, and A&E performance in Wales is the worst in Britain. Now, that is the reality. It's interesting that Louise has called from Wales.
Indeed.
That is the reality of Labour in power, right? Now, I'm not saying there aren't challenges with the NHS. Of course there are, and we're working on them. But the contrast in how Labour's running the NHS in Wales will demonstrate to you that our plan in England is actually working and making a difference, and you're not seeing that in Wales, and people like Louise are paying the price.